Radio Forest Podcast.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Wendy Dio, I absolutely love you.
Well, thank you.
So many artists have passed and it's just kind of left in the past. But with you really embracing the Dio legacy, it's great to have these books and these documentaries and now albums coming out. Is it ever hard? I mean, you're not just dealing with the job, you're also dealing with the person you knew on a very personal level.
Yeah, it's a bittersweet journey, but I always want to keep Ronnie's music and memory alive, and that's what I try to do all the time. We did the documentary, which took us over 3 years because of the pandemic and stuff, but it actually turned out to be better because we had more time to find things from the archives. And so, and now the Blu-ray and the DVD's out, which I'm very pleased about. And then we got the box set as well, the beautiful vinyl.
How do you judge the success of a documentary like that? Now, obviously, it's not going to hit movies, say, like The Avengers or anything like that. But you've got to release. Yeah, the fans are going to pick it up for sure. And we're going to learn a lot of stuff. And an interest in Ronnie is going to peak. So when you release that, like, what's the goal? I would have no idea where to begin, how to judge something like that.
Well, we just wanted to do something that showed Ronnie's life, the ups, the downs, and the in-betweens. Show even the fans that were hard rock fans of Ronnie's that things that maybe they didn't know about Ronnie. They didn't know about his start with trumpet. They didn't know about the doo-wop days, the making of the album cover of Holy Diver, and so on. And just, a lot of things, a lot of different people are in it that we interviewed. It was something that we made that I wanted Ronnie's fans to know about Ronnie. A lot of people for many years have asked me about doing a documentary. It was never the right time or the right people. And then BMG asked me about it. They financed it. I met with Don and Demian, and they were fantastic guys. I loved them. They knew a lot about Ronnie, and the more I got to know them, the more I liked them, and the more stuff that I gave them, because I'm very protective of Ronnie's stuff. But the more and more I got to know them, more and more I said, okay, let's do this, let's do that. And when we did.
And I saw some pictures from one of the premieres that you did, because you did a couple, but I saw you and Tony Iommi hanging out. How's he been, and how's your guys' relationship?
Oh, Tony and I, I talk to him. I don't see him all the time because he lives in England. I live in LA. But we get together when we see each other when we're in. If he's here or I'm there. Tony's a great person. Ronnie called him the riff master. He was his favorite guitar player to play with. And of course, Geezer Butler and Gloria Butler, they live in Utah and in Vegas, but I'm actually going to see them in a couple of weeks. And we always get together because they're really good friends. They were always good friends, and they're still good friends. I see Vinny a lot. All these people I see, I keep in contact with them all.
So my impression was that Geezer wrote the majority of the lyrics for Ozzy when Sabbath was running together. And then Dio comes in, and he's writing his own lyrics. Obviously, it worked out great. So some sort of that puzzle had fit together. But did Dio ever talk about how that dynamic worked at all? Because that had to have been a shift in the band of like, hey, Dio's got some lyrics. Let's run this way.
Geezer was happy to relinquish that job. He said he was very happy about it. And no, they always go on really well. A lot of times, Geezer will come up with a title or something, and they would just run from that. They worked very well. They were very, very good friends most of the time.
Now we're talking to Wendy Dio, the limited edition deluxe CD and LP box set. It's called the Studio Albums from 1996 to 2004. It's a re-release on these deluxe vinyl editions of the last 4 studio albums, Angry Machines, Magica, Killing the Dragon, and Master of the Moon. Talk about a little bit of these special vinyls, Wendy. I know there's some like unique looks and styles.
Oh, they're beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. They're all in reds and greens and blues, and they're beautiful colors. Some new great artwork from Mark Sasso on there. You get to see the full album covers as before. And also it's kind of interesting because the albums have got different players on them. Like you've got 3 different guitar players on different albums. You've got Craig Goldie, Tracy G, and you've got Doug Aldrich. One of them has Vinny on it. The rest have Simon on drums. You've got
Jeff Pilson's on one of them. Yeah.
Jeff Pilson, yeah. And my dear friend, late Jimmy Vane, is on there. It's they're an interesting collection of albums, and I think they were very overlooked at the time they came out, and I'm very happy to see that they're out. One of my favorite tracks is This Is Your Life, which is on the Angry Machines album. It's a beautiful package, and there's a bonus of Electra on a little EP that's in there on the colored vinyl too.
Was Ronnie a vinyl guy by any chance? Because there's been a resurgence now, and obviously with this release that hits perfect, but Ronnie went through that era of massive vinyl sales on his own. Would he ever just like put a record on and just kind of hang out? And I know he listened to a variety of music.
Yes, he did. He loved all music. But the vinyl he was very happy about, because he was very unhappy when the cassettes came out, because he said, oh, now they squashed all the artwork down. He goes, I always like to look at covers of albums as well as the music. I like to look at the artwork on the album. And it was squashed to cassette. So he was very disappointed about that. So he'd be very, very happy to know that vinyl was back.
And he spent a lot of time and thought into the album artwork of Dio and Sabbath and Rainbow.
Oh, yeah. We worked very hard on all of that and very, very involved with the artwork.
Now, sometimes his imagery had a little bit of an evil twinge, a little bit of an alliance with the devil, so to speak. Did Ronnie ever talk to you or share, obviously you probably have, about more of his thoughts on the afterlife? Because I know, correct me if I'm wrong, he grew up in a Catholic family, but then struggled with some things with organized religion on his own, and he'd talk about them in the past. But did he share with you, did you guys discuss like what his thoughts on the afterlife or his personal relationship with religions were?
He was a bit turned off with the Catholic religion because of all the priests, things with sexual abuse with kids and stuff. He believed in something, an ultimate being, that we didn't know what it was, but he believed in something. A lot of people get things wrong because the album cover, Holy Diver, you've got a monster drowning a priest, so you think there's a bad guy and a good guy. Ronnie's thinking is, never judge a book by a cover. Just because he looks like a monster, does that mean he's a bad guy? Just because he's dressed like a priest, is he a good guy? No. So you've got to look at the person and the look inside their heart, not by the way they dressed or who they were.
Now, on one of these albums in 2002, Killing the Dragon, there's the song Push, and Tenacious D is in the intro of that video of the song. And a couple of years later, Ronnie would be on Pick of Destiny. How did their relationship form? Because it seemed more like a buddy friendship instead of just like a business deal. It seemed like Jack Black and Ronnie really got along a lot.
They really got along. Jack was a great fan of Ronnie's, and Jack has a great voice, actually, too. And, you know, they just got on really well. They started off with an album that they had called Pass the Torch, song. And it was supposed to be about Ronnie, and everybody's like, oh, God, I don't Ronnie can listen to that. And Ronnie listened to it and said, that's fun. I like it. I don't want to meet this guy. And so he did, and they did Push, the video, and then they became really, really good friends. And then Jack asked him to be in the movie, and Jack comes whenever he can to our bowling, our charity bowl. Whenever he's not working, he's always there bowling with us on the charity bowl, which raises money for cancer.
Yeah, that bowling charity is coming up this year, right? Any guests you know off the top of your head that are showing up this year at the Bowling for Ronnie? It's
the 16th of November at Pins in LA, and Jack will be there if he's not working. Eddie Trump's Dave Gore, so I don't know if he'll be there. There's always different people coming in. Whoever's not working at the time, they come in. It's great. It's a fun evening, real fun evening, with everybody having fun and winning trophies and stuff, and the money going to a great cause, to our research and education for cancer research, which we're very happy working with Dr. Wong at UCLA right now.
Yeah, that's got to feel good. The Dio Cancer Fund has already raised $2 million. When you sit back and look at this, that's got to give you a warm feeling, right, Wendy? Like the positive change that you're doing and something that obviously affected Ronnie.
Yeah, a lot of it as well is what we call seed money. We gave $100,000 to Vanderbilt in Nashville. They didn't have any money set aside for gastric cancers and pancreatic cancer. And because we gave $100,000, someone else gave $500,000, and then the government gave me $11 million grant. So we kind of try to do seed money. You know, we've actually raised more, like $3 million now. And we just give it to different people, different working. Right now, Dr. White at UCLA is working on saliva tests to find early detection. So we've been very, very busy with that, and we're very happy with the money where it goes to. You
not only managed him, but you guys were married for years, and you'd split a few times, but always get back together. I know this is like a quick not a question you can answer quickly, but just curious, how would you drift apart, and how would the reconciliation start? Would it be you're working together anyway, so you're still talking, or would there ever be I haven't talked to him for a week?
No, we talked all the time. Even when we were not living together, we would talk every day. With the music, we always. That was my life. That was Ronnie's life. It's Ronnie's career. It's just very hard to be married to a musician and be managing him and everything. So, you know, a lot of times things that go, and I'm a control freak. He's a control freak. So we clash heads a lot of times on different things. So we know everything was always, I mean, he was my soulmate. We just, that was the way it was.
Well, we've got the Bowling for Ronnie coming up in November, Rainbow in the Dark. The autobiography is out. The Dio Dreamers Never Die documentary is now on Blu-ray and DVD. And we're talking today with Wendy Dio about the studio albums, Angry Machines, Magica, Killing the Dragon, and Master of the Moon editions coming out on these deluxe vinyl editions. Wendy Dio, always great to talk to you. Thanks for keeping the legacy alive. And thank you so much for chatting with me today.
Well, thank you for your support. Couldn't do it without you guys. Thanks a lot.